Ich habe jetzt die Möglichkeit zu sprechen mit Charles Michel. Als EU-Ratspräsident ist er Co-Host der Veranstaltung hier, der EPG, der EPC. Charles Michel, first of all, thank you very much for sharing your time and your views with German audience of Phoenix. Thank you very much. Merci. Yeah, we're in Britain, and Keir Starmer, the fresh new MP, just reached out towards the EU and said, let's try and start again. That's how the British media put it. How are your thoughts about how much room is there for like a new kind of connection, especially concerning the trade they have?
No, I'm very confident because this is a good message sent by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And you know that on the EU side, you are ready to cooperate much more, to coordinate much more with our British friends. And you know, we are facing very complex and extraordinary global challenges. And when we are together in the G7, in the G20, in the United Nations, we can see that spontaneously the United Kingdom on the one hand and the European Union on the other hand, we have the same views and we want to develop the same tools for more prosperity, for more stability, for more security. Look, our support for Ukraine is a good example. We didn't need a structural coordination to make the same choices. We want to target Russia, we want to sanction Russia, and we want to support Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Speaking about the support of Ukraine, everybody's looking to November, to the elections in the United States, and Donald Trump just introduced his running mate, J.D. Vance, who explicitly voted against the Ukraine aid. How do you think the EU should prepare for that kind of administration?
Yeah, two elements. First, I think that we have the responsibility to contribute, to convince the American people that for their own security, for their own stability, we cannot let Russia prevail. This is the first message. If there would be a weak signal coming from the United States, it would be also a weak signal towards other authoritarian regimes, like in China, for instance. This, I think, the strongest argument that we have to use when we engage with the United States. And point two, there is no doubt that we have to implement this strategic agenda. And this strategic agenda is based on two pillars. These are the main orientations for the future of the EU. We have to strengthen the economic base. We have to work for more innovation, for more prosperity. We have to deepen the single market. We have to be more powerful from an economic point of view, on the one hand. And on the other hand, and this is interlinked, we have to work to develop the European defense, more cooperation, more capabilities in the field of defense. You like or you don't like, but because of the challenges we face, we need, if we want more influence, to have more capabilities in the field of defense, and we need to strengthen our industrial base in the field of defense.
Although keeping up good transatlantic relations, how much more independent has the EU to become?
Look, I think that we want, there is no doubt, to be a loyal, a predictable partner. And the transatlantic relationships is key, is extremely important. And this alliance will be stronger if the EU is a strongest ally, a strongest partner. And that's why we have to develop our economic base and to work on our defense capabilities. On the other hand, this is very clear that we have our own interests, and sometimes we have our own sensitivities. And I think that a respectful partnership, a respectful alliance has to be based on mutual respect and this understanding that we have also a few priorities that we have to promote and to defend.
Talking about unity, there are some issues also within the EU. We have Viktor Orban talking on his arrival. He said the conflict in Ukraine couldn't be solved on the battlefield. I think that's not like the opinion of most of the other leaders here, but Viktor Orban or Budapest will be the next place for the next EPC. How should the EU deal with that?
A few points. First, I think it's very clear that the Prime Minister of Hungary made very clear that 26 countries and 27 are very clear and very determined in their support to Ukraine, and that's why I made very clear that the rotating presidency has no role in terms of representing the EU in the field of the foreign policy. This is one first element. And point two, I think it is important not to react by a provocation when there is a provocation. I mean, this is important important, I think, to protect the decision-making process. I think that we need informal meetings of the ministers of the Council, because this is indispensable to make sure that we forge the European unity in all possible fields, in the field of the economic base, in the field of the preparation for the COP29 that will take place in Azerbaijan, in the field of industry and climate change, in all those topics. If we want to build a strong European unity, this is the need for meetings at the ministerial level, and that's why I'm confident that we'll find the way, together with the member states, to make sure that we decide and we build this European unity.
Today there has been another important decision made in Strasbourg. Ursula von der Leyen has been re-elected as President of the EU Commission. How do you think, how important is that kind of continuity for the EU at this time?
Look, a few weeks ago, the European Council made his homework when we decided on the theme that we proposed, point one, and on the program for the next institutional cycle. And this is good that the European Parliament agreed on those orientations proposed by the European Council.
Mr. President, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.